What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest wrestling news stories and rumors you need to know, including WWF main eventer Zeus has passed away at only the young age of 62, news on a potentially promising Mania main event, former Divas champion claims she wants one more run, WWE takes action against Snoop Dogg, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Oh, I also have a third channel, so be sure to check that out. Now, our first story looks at a former WWF main eventer Zeus passing away at the age of only 62. Unfortunately, sad news to report as Hollywood actor and occasional wrestler Thomas Tiny Lister Jr., better known in the WWF as Zeus, has passed away. TMZ is reporting that a release from the LA County Sheriff's Department says friends and business associates of Lister became worried Thursday when they hadn't heard from him since Wednesday night. Deputies performed a welfare check where they made their way into his apartment and found him dead. At this point, cops say it's believed that Lister died of natural causes, but an autopsy will be performed to determine the official cause of death. Now, there has been an update on that as Tony's manager Cindy Cohen told CNN that the actor was experiencing COVID-like symptoms, although he had not been diagnosed, and that he got real bad really quick. He also added that he couldn't breathe and felt very weak. It literally went so fast. Now, the big man first came into wrestling fans' attention when he co-starred in the 1989 Hulk Hogan movie No Holds Barred, playing the monstrous villain Zeus. That summer, Vince McMahon brought Zeus in to challenge Hogan, with the big man teaming with Hogan's arch-rival Randy Macho Man Savage in a number of main event matches including SummerSlam, Survivor Series, and No Holds Barred, the match, the movie. A wrestling legend has it that Vince McMahon contemplating pitting Zeus against Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 6. Lister then resurfaced in WCW where he joined the Alliance to end Hulkamania, working as a Z-Gangster in the infamous Doomsday Cage match at 96 Uncensored pay-per-view. Standing at 6'5", Lister was a natural in Hollywood as an intimidating figure and played a variety of film and television roles, including President Lindbergh in The Fifth Element, guest spots on the shows ranging from Matlock to Star Trek Enterprise, and arguably his best-known role as Debo in the Friday series. He was only 62. Our condolences go out to the Lister family and friends during this very hard time. Next up, an interesting WrestleMania main event match. Now, as 2020 winds down to a close, the WWE Universe is curious just what happens for 2021's WrestleMania. Let's look at an interesting story going around concerning 3 potential huge matchups. WrestleVotes recently tweeted about this coming year's Showcase of the Immortals, saying, "Source stressed nothing is close to official or concrete, but as a working idea the following is what's being considered. Reigns vs Goldberg, Edge vs Orton, and an interesting twist, McIntyre vs Lesnar vs Keith Lee. Lots of variables in play, especially the attendance factor. All 3 matches could be huge, and a triple threat match with Lesnar would be a good way to elevate Keith Lee while also enticing Lesnar to come back and, equally importantly, stay out of AEW. As for the much-wanted Rock vs Roman Reigns match, Dave Meltzer discussed it in his latest Wrestling Observer newsletter, saying, "What we do know is that as of right now, and this was also reported by Ringside News, that Dwayne Johnson is not scheduled. According to those very close to the situation, Johnson has brought up the possibility of doing a match with Reigns in 2022, but that's a long way away, and he'd be 49 by that time. Obviously, this is all up to him. He wants it in this year, tomorrow, or next month, and he's in. But on the creative side, they've been told he's a no-go." According to Meltzer, the 2 most likely names are McIntyre and Bryan right now. Like many news stories and rumors, however, there's more than one thought on the situation. For instance, Ringside News' Steve Carrier recently tweeted, "Hi guys, do you like rumors? Remember earlier today when everyone was talking about WrestleMania matches? We've asked and received several hell no's from around WWE. Essentially, those matches were never pitched or brought up in meetings to decide what gets pitched. Edge vs Orton has been the going match for Mania, that's assuming that Edge is fully recovered by then, and Goldberg vs Reigns has been hinted at as of late due to Goldberg calling Reigns out on the bump. Given WrestleVote's track record, all 3 matches are a possibility, and there's likely been discussion of a triple threat for the WWE Championship, or it wouldn't have been brought up. Ringside News may have been told there are no plans, but that could easily be disinformation as the WWE doesn't like revealing matches unless it's on their terms and schedule. Next up, a former Divas champion says that she wants one more run. Wrestling fans know that the siren call of the ring can bring back even the most seemingly contented retired wrestlers back for one more match or even one more run, as recently seen with WWE Hall of Famer Edge. Now, former Divas champion Maurice is talking up a possible return to the ring. Maurice teased a possible return earlier this year, and a recent tweet suggests it may actually happen. Someone tweeted the following to the co-star of USA's Ms. and Mrs. Maurice Mizanin, we need you back in the ring. We miss you. The division needs you. Seriously. Would you like to make a comeback? The two-time Divas champion replied, I think I got one more run in me. Would you guys like to see Maurice back in the ring, or should she let the new generation get their chance in the spotlight? Next up is WWE taking action against Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg is scheduled to appear on AEW's 6th January New Year's Bash edition of Dynamite, a move which we reported has upset some WWE officials. According to Ringside News' Felix Upton, the WWE pulled its Undertaker's Snoop Dogg line of merchandise, suggesting the company is upset with the Dogfather. However, Upton later clarified that we've learned that this line was only available until December 6. They have since taken it down and there is apparently no way to purchase them anymore. The WWE also seems to be taking a shot at Snoop Dogg at WWE Shop, as they also reported when fans type in Snoop Dogg in the official WWE Shop, it asks, do you mean Dong? I don't know, maybe some might have searched that. Dave Meltzer suggests Snoop's appearance on Dynamite isn't a case of the WWE Hall of Famer abandoning the WWE, but merely helping out Warner Media, a company he currently does business with and which airs Dynamite. Whatever the case, the WWE seems to be hot about the situation. But what do you guys think? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Vince McMahon tells Raw superstars to learn how to work. This week's Observer has a vague but interesting report on Vince McMahon's discuss with certain performers on Raw, so much so that he sent them to WWE Performance Center. According to the article, Vince McMahon threw a fit about the working ability of certain guys on the main roster, mad in particular about some of the big guys. He's ordered some of the guys back to the Performance Center with 2 classes per week, with Adam Pearce and Drew Gulak as instructors. In an update by PW Insider, they reported McMahon is looking to refine the in-ring skills of Otis, Keith Lee, Dio Madden aka Mace, Dabba-Kato, and AJ Styles' bodyguard, Omos. They're set to train on Tuesday and Thursday at the Performance Center, and let's hope they don't get any worse. Next up, is Kenny Omega going to a main event in Impact? Now, although we don't cover much Impact news, the following news story should interest AEW fans along with fans of the current AEW World Heavyweight Champion Kenny Omega. Omega appeared on this week's episode of Impact Wrestling and is now aligned with Impact executive Don Callis. Naturally, this has led to speculation on Omega's role in Impact, a topic Dave Meltzer addressed in the latest Observer. They certainly teased the idea of Omega vs Impact champion Rich Swann coming with both belts at stake. We do know that Omega will make appearances on Impact Television, including back on the 15th December, and headline at least some Impact pay-per-view shows. Impact has already benefited from Omega's presence as Tuesday's Impact Wrestling show saw a big bump in the ratings. There's no word on just how much Impact and AEW will cross over, but 2021 is shaping up to be a promising year in wrestling. Next up, Tony Khan says the balance of power has shifted in wrestling. Now, Tony Khan seems ecstatic with AEW's performance so far, so much so that he recently tweeted that the balance of power has shifted. Khan tweeted, "Thank you everyone who watched AEW Dynamite last night. It was our biggest audience of 2020 and one of the biggest numbers we've done since our debut. It was close to 1 million. In fact, some segments also had more than 1 million. The balance of power in wrestling has shifted towards you great fans who have started a revolution. See you live on Wednesday." And do you think the fans are being listened to? Let us know in the comments down below. And finally, an NXT injury report. The 6th December NXT TakeOver War Games card featured some brutal bouts and, as reported earlier, some injuries to various stars. Now word has come out that Undisputed Era member Bobby Fish suffered an injury during the men's War Games match. Meltzer reporting Bobby Fish had tricep surgery on 7th December, but it was minor, not a tear, and is expected in about 8 weeks. In his case, it was said to be a freak accident. A piece of the cage pierced his elbow and severed the triceps. Well, we wish Bobby Fish a fast and full recovery. But there you have it, guys, the wildest wrestling news stories and rumors you need to know. What do you guys think of Maurice returning, and many more questions that we asked in this video? Be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Facebook for exclusive lists, and check out Incredible if you can, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.